The door was open, but he did not move. For years, he had told people the same thing: I would leave if I could. And in the beginning, maybe that was true. He had not entered the room because he loved small places. He entered because the word had hurt him. Years ago, he had tried to build a different life, but he failed. And after that, even hope began to feel dangerous to him. So he came into the room to rest, only for a while, just until the pain became quieter. At first, the wall felt kind to him. They did not ask him to try again. The silence did not question him. The closed door gave him a reason to stop trying. Outside, he could fail again. He could be rejected again. He could feel small again. And inside, none of that could happen. Nothing could ask him to become brave before he was ready. So he stayed. A day became a routine became a personality, and eventually the room stopped feeling like a place he had entered. It started feeling like the only life he could imagine. When people asked why he never left, he pointed to the door. It is locked. That sentence was useful for him. It explained his fear without exposing it. It made his staying look like something life had done to him, not something he was choosing. And slowly, he began to need that sentence often, because if the door was locked, then he did not have to face the harder truth that a year had passed, that he had stopped trying, that his life was becoming smaller, and he had learned to call it safety. He hated the room, but he also protected it. He complained about the walls, but kept them clean. He hated the narrow window, but sat beside it every morning. He dreamed of open field, but spent his evening making the small room more comfortable. This is how a prison becomes personal, not when it has bars, but when it protects you from trying again. Then one morning, while wiping dust near the entrance, his hand touched the handle. He was not trying to escape. He was not being courageous. He was only cleaning the door he had stopped questioning, and the handle moved. The door opened. No struggle, no broken lock, no dramatic rescue, just a quiet opening. Light entered the room. Beyond it was a hallway, empty, ordinary, wide enough to walk through. For a moment, he could not understand what he was seeing, because the open door did not feel like freedom to him. It felt like being exposed. As long as the door was locked, his life had an explanation. His sadness has witness. His fear had a villain. His waiting had an excuse. But now the hallway stood there without arguing, and the question changed. It was no longer why I can't leave. It became, what have I been protecting by staying? That question was harder, because a locked door lets you suffer without choosing. An open door asks you to participate in your own life. And sometimes that is what we fear, not the word, but the moment our excuses stop protecting us. The man looked back at the room, the chair, the walls, the small window, the life he had learned how to explain. Then he looked at the hallway. Nothing was stopping him, and somehow that was the most frightening part. Because freedom does not only give you space, it takes away the comfort of blaming the cage. A dead relationship can become a room. A job you hate can become a room. An old failure can become a room. A version of yourself that people understand can become a room. And after a while, the room may hurt you, but at least you know how to survive there. So he slowly placed his hand on the door and closed it again. Not because the room was good, but because the room asked less from him than the hallway did. That is the quiet tragedy Many people are not waiting for the door to open. They are waiting to become the kind of person who can walk through it. And sometimes they stay so long that they forget they were ever meant to leave. The wound was real, the fear was real. Maybe at one time the room really did protect him. But not everything that protects you is meant to keep you. What once protected you can start holding you back. What once explained your pain can become your excuse to stay. And a wound can become the story you keep living from. The door was open. The hallway was there. And for the first time, he understood the prison had not only been the room, it had been the comfort of having a reason to remain inside.